Hey everybody, how's it going? I want to take you all through a consent management platform, a really awesome one called Enzuzo, enzuzo.com. If we head over there, there are a couple options. You can create a free account, or if you already have an account, just simply log in. In my case, I'm going to log in and click that. Click on continue with Google in my case, and I'm going to log in with the domain email of my website. Okay, give it a second to load. There we go. Now, in my past videos, you saw I've given you guys a solution for the fact that Shopify is deprecating the checkout area, specifically the additional scripts area in Shopify. So as of next year, August 2025, I believe, that will no longer work. So I've given you guys a solution with Shopify customer events, and a lot of you have asked for consent mode with those customer events, along with the Google Tag Manager containers that I've provided. Now, this is a really good solution. These guys are an excellent consent management platform, really easy to get up and running. And I've integrated them into a version of the Google Tag Manager containers that I'm providing. So when you buy either the more kind of basic version of my code that includes Google Tag Manager, a container for Google Ads conversion tracking, and GA4 enhanced e-commerce and enhanced conversions as well, you'll also get a container that includes the Enzuzo consent management platform integration, right? It's also included in the more kind of advanced, I'm calling it a pro version of my code with Shopify customer events and Google Tag Manager that includes basically every ad platform, and it enables more advanced dynamic remarketing capabilities with things like Facebook, Snapchat, Pinterest, and you name it, it's all on there. So Enzuzo is going to be in those Google Tag Manager containers. There's going to be an alternative version where you can install those Google Tag Manager containers. So once you create an Enzuzo account, you should be on a screen like this. Head over here to Cookie Consent, go to Cookie Banner, click on Add to Site, then click on Consent Mode with GTM. Grab this URL here, so just highlight it, and then click on click Control C for copy. I keep saying click. It's just you're going to use the shortcut, or you can do this. Copy. Go over to GTM, and if you've loaded one of my GTM containers inside your container, in this case, it's the pro version. As you can see, look at all the various things: Criteo, Facebook, GA4, Hotjar, Microsoft. The list goes on. There's TikTok and Twitter. But what we're going to do is we're going to look for Enzuzo CMP. Click on that. You can see Enzuzo script URL. We're going to remove replace, and we're going to just add our URL. Then we're going to click on save. That's it. You have consent mode fully working now. Now, of course, you can go into the Enzuzo interface and change preferences and adjust various things. But as far as implementation goes, that's it. Consent mode is installed. Now we can test it. I can show you what I mean. Just going to publish the container here. Okay, go back to Workspace, preview. Okay, look at the banner. So it looks really nice, really simple. Just at the bottom here. So decline, allow, right? We can see what's happening. So the Enzuzo CMP loaded, the conversion linker loaded, and the GA4 web stream ID also loaded. So you might be asking yourself, well, why are these tags loading? I haven't even allowed or denied in my in my banner? Well, the whole idea behind consent mode, Google's consent mode, is any tag that is Google will still be sent regardless of whether the user allows or denies. Google in the back end will recognize whether an allow was checked or a deny was checked or the banner was ignored altogether. If a deny was checked and the banner was ignored, the tags will still load. They'll be sent to Google, but they'll be sent as what Google calls a cookieless ping. Google will then collect these cookieless pings and then model the data to kind of make up the gaps of those who ignore the banner or deny cookies. So that's why these are loading. Now, you can see here, once I browse around, things still load, right? View item list loads because I'm on my category page. So I'm going to hit, I'm going to click on, let's say decline. Now, if we look at GTM and then go back to tags, I've got a Hotjar tag, and it's set to fire on Enzuzo consent update, right? So for any tag that is not a native Google tag, you have to replace your all pages tags with this particular event. And I've done all that for you. So as you can see, Enzuzo consent update, tags blocked by consent settings, Hotjar. So because I clicked on deny. Okay, let's try that one more time. Just going to clear my cookies. I'm going to refresh. So I'm gonna allow all this time. And now you can see Hotjar fired because I've allowed cookies, and Hotjar is supposed to fire on Enzuzo consent update. And you can see user engagement, nothing fired. View item list GA4 fired, but there was no Hotjar, for example, when container loaded or initialization. Hotjar only happened when I interacted with the banner and clicked on allow, then the Enzuzo underscore consent update fired, and then Hotjar fired. You see how that works? So this is telling us, and we can even see, if we go over to consent here, we can see granted under this part. Okay? So that is working like it should. Analytics storage, on-page update, consent or current state is granted. And there it is, Hotjar. So that's how we know things are working. Okay, perfect. So that's how you update your containers that I've provided to you with your consent mode. So go to enzuzo.com, create an account, get that URL that I showed you, this one here. All you got to do, again, just because I like to repeat myself, find the tag called Enzuzo CMP and update it here. Save, publish, submit. One thing you might want to do is just make sure that if you click on this area here, make sure that there are consent settings set on every tag. So additional consent, that should be on every tag. And for whatever reason, if you don't have this shield icon, head over here to admin and go to container settings, and then under additional settings, enable consent overview. If you've uploaded my containers, I'm pretty sure it will bring over that consent overview setting, and the shield icon would be there. And I'm also pretty sure that additional consent in these various settings are going to be applied to every tag. I don't think it kind of gets wiped out. I think it's there. But if it's not, or just as a kind of double check, go over here to consent overview and make sure it says there are no tags under consent not configured. Okay. But that's it. As far as implementing consent mode, it's as simple as adding that URL after you create an Enzuzo account. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. And yeah, we're just here to easily implement consent mode. It's not something that takes, 20 hours. You could do this in less than half an hour, especially if you're using my pre-baked GTM container. Okay, have a good one, everybody. And any questions, let me know.